Far Cry 5 has been my white whale for the last couple of months. Even though I have some observations on the plot, I love the feeling of driving around blowing stuff up like a maniac. But what if the only PC that you have is a bit on the low end side? Well, I got news for you. There's a lot that you can do.
Wait, didn't Potato Mode already made a video about that?
You mean the video where they do not touch configuration files and the only thing they do is force LOD bias with the NVIDIA inspector, which only works in NVIDIA GPUs?
Hey, but haven't you done the exact same thing a couple of times before?
Let's focus on the moment, because with the right tweaks, you might be able to sacrifice enough to play this thing on an IntelUHD laptop. Welcome to the LowSpecGamer, the channel where I explore ways of reducing graphics and actually test them on low-end PCs rather than just throwing them in what is clearly a gaming PC and not specify the specs or performance anywhere.
Or you could mention how the guys in Potato Mode are, actually funny.
That's it, into the mute you go. Where was I? Oh yes, let's make this game run. Huge thanks to Fuke of the LowSpecGamer Discord for his help on figuring this out. For testing purposes, I will be using a small Dell XPS 13. While the CPU seems pretty okay for a small laptop, it has no dedicated graphics, so we will have to use the integrated IntelUHD 620. With all the settings on the game already to the lowest, resolution to 720, which for some reason is the lowest allowed, and an internal resolution of 0.5, the game hovers somewhere around a 28 average, which is way more than I expected. That is actually optimized. But if you want at least 30 or are using a weaker PC, there are some measures that you can take. The configuration file for this game is located in your Documents folder, My Games, Far Cry 5, GamerProfile.xml. Right after a section called Custom Quality, and right before the closing tag of Render Profile, open up some space to copy some of the options that you will find in the link in the description. This will help you reduce a bunch of extra details further down, but let me walk you through some of the most interesting ones. On the lowest settings, you will notice the water still has reflections and refractions, but the command on this section will disable most of that. You will notice it looks a fair bit more flat. If that is still too much water for you, you can enable Disable Water to completely disable water around you. The water is still there, it is just invisible. Water after a certain distance is still rendered, but everything close to you is gone. Next, shadows. Even on the lowest settings, the shadows on this game are fairly detailed, and while it does not seem like you can straight up disable them, you can change the resolution in the shadows section. In my test, values under 64 already reduce them in quality dramatically, which can definitely provide a bit of extra performance. Now the geometry section has more interesting stuff. LOD scale controls the distance at which low quality models are loaded. The higher the value, the lower the distance, and something like 10 has everything on its lowest model unless you are right next to it. Look at those derpy faces. Kill LOD scale controls the distance at which objects are just completely de-rendered, so a value of 10 provides a beautiful low draw distance where things just pop up in front of you. With the most extreme changes, the benchmark smashes the 30 FPS barrier and gets to an average of 35. Now if we limit FPS to 30, it should be able to keep itself there pretty well, although playing like this brings its own set of challenges. Is it just me, or is my gun completely gone? Oh god, the rocket is just floating in midair. Oh no, there he goes. Huh. Kinda hard to drive when you don't see where you're supposed to. Oh, this is water. Ah, okay, never mind. Oh god, this is so weird. Oh, this is not good. Everything's on fire. Just my CPU. Nope, just pull another gun. Yes, that thing. I'm shooting with my wrist. Well, that went smoothly. Check out Potato's Mode Far Cry video, it is actually pretty funny and I'm really fond of what they're doing there, but I could not resist the opportunity to poke a little fun at the whole thing. And man, I cannot get over these threes. The sides of Montana will never be the same. In your games, you might want less trees, but in real life, deforestation is a real problem.
Why are you even mentioning it? I'm a nerd that spends all day online, there's nothing I can do about that.
Wrong! Introducing Ecosia, a free plugin that changes your default search engine for a green variety that makes money for trees. Revenue generated by ads in your searches goes towards reforestation efforts. So, install it in your browser and you're planting trees. Simple as that. Check them out in the link in the description. Seriously, you will be helping a great cause. Thanks to them for sponsoring this video, and thanks to you for helping trees, watching this video, or contributing in Patreon.